Hello everyone and welcome to Sally and Bytes. Today, I am here to teach Review of Python Basics, Part 3, for the class 12 students of Computer Science. In this video, we are going to discuss about strings and lists. We have already discussed in detail in class 11. It's revision time. So let's dive in and get started. Strings are a sequence of characters enclosed in either single quotes or double quotes. This sequence of Unicode characters may include a letter, a number, special character, white space, or a backslash. Python treats single quotes the same as double quotes. Triple quotes are typically used for strings that span multiple times. Strings are used to represent textual data and are one of the fundamental data types in Python. Strings are immutable, which means once created, their contents cannot be changed. Example: a string named Sally and Bytes is created and stored in variable name. The string is enclosed in single quotes. An individual character in a string is accessed using a subscript, index. The subscript should always be an integer, positive or negative, and begin with 0 in case of positive indexing and with -1 while working with backward indexing. Never use str as name of the variable, otherwise the functionality of the str function will be overwritten. Str function is used to change any data type to string. Strings can be manipulated using operators like concatenation, that it adds or joins two or more strings using plus operator. Repetition concatenates multiple copies of the same thing using asterisk operator. Membership in and not in returns true if a character exists in the given string and returns false if the character does not exist in the string. Comparison operators compares strings using a ASCII or Unicode value of the characters. Unicode values are also called ordinal values. String slicing extracts the character from the given index. Now, look at the examples. In line 1 and 2, str1 is assigned the value hello, and str2 is assigned the value Python. In line 3, string concatenation, the plus operator is used to concatenate str1 and str2. The result is hello Python, which is printed in output 1. In line 4, string repetition, the asterisk multiplication operator is used to repeat str1 3 times. The result is hello hello hello, which is printed in output 2. In line 5, membership operator in, the in operator checks if the character h is present in str1. Since it is not present, the result is false, which is printed in output 3. In line 6, membership operator not in, the not in operator checks if the character s is not present in str2. Since it is not present, the result is true, which is printed in output 4. In line 7, string comparison, the greater than operator compares str1 and str2 lexicographically. Since hello is not greater than Python, the result is false, which is printed in output 5. In line 8, string slicing, the square brackets 0:4 are used to extract a substring from str1 starting at index 0 and ending at index 3, 4 is excluded. The result is hell, which is printed in output 6. Traversing a string means accessing all the elements of the string one after the other by using the subscript or index value. Each character in a string has an index value. Indexing starts at 0 and must be an integer. Individual elements or slots can be accessed by typing index value inside square brackets. Now, we can see iterating through the elements of a string using for loop. Each character of the string can be accessed sequentially using for loop. This is done using the indexes and iterating over it results in displaying the elements of a string, one character at a time. Syntax is for iterable object, in string : print I. Let's look at an example, traversing through string using a for loop. Now, look at the Python code. The variable my_string is assigned the value hello, world. It is a string that contains the text hello, world. The for loop is used to traverse or iterate over the characters in the string my_string. In each iteration of the loop, the variable char takes on the index value of each character in the string, one at a time. You can see on the left side picture how forward indexing is done. For index value 0, character h is printed within the loop. Next, for index value 1, e is printed, and so on till index value 12, exclamation point is printed, that is, until the character of the string ends. Each character of the string is printed on a separate line. As a result, when you run this code, it will print each character of the string hello, world, on a new line, giving the output, as shown on the console. The loop iterates over the string from the first character, h, to the last character, exclamation point, and the print statement is executed for each character, causing it to be displayed on the console. String traversal using range function. Range method along with for loop can be used to extract the characters from a string. Syntax is, for I range of 0, len of, str1, print, str1 of I. Let's see an example. str1 is assigned the value Python. The for loop iterates over the range from 0 to the length of str1, exclusive, with a step of 2. This means it will iterate over the indices of str1 taking every second index. Inside the loop, str1 of I retrieves the character at index I in str1. The retrieved character is printed using the print statement. Range, start, stop, step, start value is 0, stop at length of the string. Here, length of the string Python is 6, that is the number of characters of string Python. We are stopping at 6, so 6 is not included. Step value is 2. The character at index 0 in str1 is p, so it is printed. The character at index 2 in str1 is t, so it is printed. The character at index 4 in str1 is o, so it is printed. Note, the index of a string starts from 0, so the first character is at index 0, the second character is at index 1, and so on. Let's see an example. Write a Python program to input a string from the user and print it in the reverse order without creating a new string. Now, look at the Python code. In this program, the user is prompted to input a string using the input function, and the input is stored in the input_string variable. To print the string in reverse order, we use a for loop with the range function. The loop starts from the last index of the string and stop value at len of input_string -1, and iterates in reverse order, decrementing the index by 1 in each iteration, -1 as the step value. Now, pause the video and check the range values of start, stop and step values, which I have clearly explained below the program. Now, inside the loop, input_string of index of I accesses the character at the current index, I, and prints it. The end equals blank space argument is used to prevent printing a new line after each character. After the loop completes, we use print without any argument to print a new line, ensuring that subsequent output appears on a new line. When you run the program, it will ask you to enter a string. Here, we have entered hello world. Once you provide the input, it will print the string in reverse order on the same line. So the output will be DLROW blank space OLLEH. In Python, string slicing refers to the technique of extracting a portion or a substring from a string by specifying the starting and ending indices. So what is a slice of a string? A slice of a string is a substring. This extracted substring is termed as slice. Chunk of characters can be extracted from a string using slice operator with 2 indices in square brackets separated by colon. The basic syntax for string slicing in Python is string name open square brackets, start colon, stop colon, step, close square brackets. Here stop is excluded. Here's what each part of the slicing syntax means. String underscore name. The original string from which you want to extract a substring. Next is start. The index representing the start position of the substring, inclusive. Next is stop. The index representing the end position of the substring, exclusive. Next is step. It is optional. The step or increment value for selecting characters. It determines how many characters to skip while slicing. If step value is positive, move in forward direction. If step value is negative, move in backward direction. Let's see some examples. In line 1, str1 is assigned the value hello Python. In line 2, str1 of 2:6 selects a substring from index 2 to 6, exclusive, so it includes characters at indices 2, 3, 4, and 5. The selected substring is LLO, which is printed. In line 3, str1 of 5 selects a substring from the beginning up to index 5, exclusive, so it includes characters at indices 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The selected substring is hello, which is printed. In line 4, str1 of 3: selects a substring from index 3 to the end, so it includes all characters starting from index 3 till the end of the string. The selected substring is lo space Python, which is printed. In line 5, str1 of 2 selects a substring with a step of 2, which means it selects every second character from the beginning to the end. The selected substring is HLOPTO, which is printed. In line 6, str1 of -5:-2 selects a substring from the index -5, -4, -3. The selected substring is YTH, which is printed. In line 7, str1 of 5:2:-1 selects a substring from index 5 to index 2 in reverse order due to the step of -1. The selected substring is space OL, which is printed. In line 8, str1 of -2:5:-1 selects a substring from the second last index to index 5 in reverse order. The selected substring is OHTYP, which is printed. In line 9, str1 of -2:5:-2 selects a substring from the second last index to index 5 in reverse order with a step of -2. The selected substring is OTP, which is printed. Let's have a quick revision of the string methods, which we have already learnt in grade 11. If you want a detailed explanation of each string method, you can check the strings video of class 11. The first method is len. This method returns the length of the string, the number of characters including spaces and special symbols. Revise the example given here. Python string is alpha returns true if a given string consists of alphabets only. It returns true only if all characters of a string are alphabets, both uppercase and lowercase, only. One thing to note is white space is not considered as an alphabet, thus if there is a white space in string then this method returns false for that string. The syntax is str. is alpha function. From the syntax it is clear that this method does not take any parameters. If any parameter will be passed then it will raise an error. Revise the example given here. The isDigit function returns true if the string contains only digits, otherwise false. The syntax is str. isDigit function. Revise the example given here. Split method breaks up a string at the specified separator and returns a list of substrings. Syntax is str. split of separator, max split. The split method takes a maximum of 2 parameters. One of the parameter is the separator and the other parameter is the max split. Here, the separator parameter is optional. The separator is a delimiter. The string splits at the specified separator. If the separator is not specified, any white space, that is space, new line, string is a separator. The next parameter max split is also optional. The max split defines the maximum number of splits. The default value of max split is -1, which means no limit on the number of splits. Revise the example given here. String lower method is used to return a copy of a specified string where all case-based characters turned into lowercase. The main aim of this function is to convert the string into lowercase. The syntax is str.lower function. Revise the example given here. In is lower method. If all case-based characters, letters, of a string are in lowercase, then this method returns true, otherwise returns false. The syntax is str.is lower function. Revise the example given here. String upper is used to return a copy of a specified string where all case-based characters are in uppercase. The main aim of this function is to convert the string into uppercase. The syntax is str.upper function. Revise the example given here. In is upper method. If all case-based characters, letters, of a string are in uppercase, then this method returns true, otherwise returns false. The syntax is str.is upper function. Revise the example given here. Python string replace is an built-in function. This function replaces all the occurrences of the old string with the new string. It is used to replace a specified phrase or string with another phrase or string and returns the result after replacement. This method does not modify the original string. This method basically returns a copy of a string where all occurrences of its substring are replaced by some other substring. It replaces the old substring with the new substring and returns the copy of the string. One thing to remember is that it does not modify the original string. This method comes under the category of class str. There are 3 parameters of replace function. Old value. It is a mandatory attribute used to specify the substring that is needed to be searched. New value. It is a mandatory attribute that is used to specify the value we need to replace. Count. It is an optional parameter and is a number that is used to specify how many occurrences of the old value you want to replace. Revise these examples for replace function. Also, the second example is Python string replace function using count parameter. Revise both examples. Python string find is an inbuilt function. This function is used to search the first occurrence of the substring in the given string. If you are finding a substring that exists inside a string, then this function returns the index of the first occurrence of the string. If the substring does not exist in a string, then the function returns -1. The syntax is str.find of sub, start, end. Here, sub is the substring which needs to be searched in the given string. Start is starting position where substring is to be checked within the string. End is the end position, which is the index of the last value for specified range. Revise the example given here. Revise these examples also for string find function. If the substring is not found, it returns -1. Python string lstrip function returns the string after removing the spaces from left of the string. The syntax is str.lstrip or str.lstrip of characters. Here, chars is optional, a string specifying the set of characters to be removed from the left. All combinations of characters in the chars argument are removed from the left of the string until left character of the string mismatches. Revise all these examples by your own. Python string strip function removes all the trailing white spaces from the right of the string. The syntax is str.rstrip or str.rstrip of characters. Here, chars is Optional, a string specifying the set of characters to be removed from the right. All combinations of characters in the char's argument are removed from the right of the string until right character of the string mismatches. Revise the examples given here. Python string is space function returns true if the string contains only white space characters, otherwise returns false. The syntax is str.is space function. Revise the examples given here. Python string is title function doesn't take any arguments. It returns true if the string is properly title-cased, else returns false if the string is not a title-cased string or an empty string. The syntax is str.is title function. Revise these examples given here. Python string join function returns a string in which the string elements have been joined by a string separator. The syntax is str.join of sequence. In sequence, join function takes an argument which is of sequence data type, capable of returning its element one at a time. This method returns a string which is the concatenation of each element of the string and the string separator between each element of the string. Revise these examples given here. Python string swap case function converts and returns all uppercase characters into lowercase and vice versa of the given string. It does not take any argument. The syntax is str.swap case function. Revise these examples given here. Python string partition, separator, function is used to split the given string using the specified separator and returns a tuple with 3 parts. Substring before the separator, separator itself, a substring after the separator. The syntax is str.partition of separator. Separator argument is required to separate a string. If the separator is not found, it returns the string itself followed by 2 empty strings within parentheses as tuple. Revise these examples given here. Python string ends with function returns true if the given string ends with the specified substring else returns false. The syntax is str.ends with function. Revise these examples given here. Python string starts with function returns true if the given string starts with the specified substring, else returns false. The syntax is str.starts with function. Revise these examples given here. In internal storage or memory of the computer, the characters are stored in integer value. A specific value is used for a given character and it is based on ASCII code. Python provides 2 functions for character encoding: ORD function and CHR function. First, we will learn about the ORD function on the left side of this screen. In ORD function, it returns the ASCII or Unicode or ordinal of the character. Revise these examples given here. Now, look at the right side of the screen. We will learn about CHR function. The CHR function is used to convert an integer representing a Unicode code point into the corresponding character. Revise these examples given here. A string can be unpacked to its individual characters. These characters can be assigned to individual variables, to a list or a tuple. You can revise these examples given here. Let's have a quick glance about lists. A list is a collection of values or an ordered sequence of values or items. The items in a list can be of any type such as string, integers, float, objects, or even a list. Elements, the values that make up a list, are called its elements. Elements of a list are enclosed in square brackets, separated by commas. Lists allow duplicate values as well. The element of the list can be accessed by its index. Lists are mutable, that is, values in the list can be modified, which means that Python will not create a new list when you make changes to an element of a list. Elements of the list need not be of the same type. List is a sequence data type like strings. Now, look at the example. List 1 equals 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This list in computer memory shall be represented as shown in the below picture with positive and negative indexes. On the basics of the index values, the elements in the list are accessed and retrieved. You can revise these examples given here. In Python, list comprehension is a concise way to create lists based on existing lists or other iterable objects. It allows you to create a new list by applying an expression or transformation to each item in the existing list, optionally filtered by a condition. The syntax is new_list equals expression for item in list if condition. This is equivalent to for item in list if condition expression. You can see how the left side example is equivalent to the right side example. Both have the same output. List slicing is a feature in Python that allows you to extract a portion of a list. It provides a way to create a new list by specifying a range of indices. The general syntax for slicing a list is list of open brackets start : stop : step close brackets, where start is the index where the slice starts, inclusive. If not specified, it defaults to the beginning of the list. Stop is the index where the slice ends, exclusive. If not specified, it defaults to the end of the list. Step is the increment between indices. If not specified, it defaults to 1. You can revise these examples given here. Nested lists in Python are lists that contain other lists as elements. Each element within a nested list can be of any data type, including other lists. Let's see some examples. Example 1. List L1 holds the values 10, 20, C, M, a nested list holding the values 6, 7, 8, and 30, 40. The next line print of L1 of 4 retrieves the element at index 4 of the list L1. Now, look at the above picture. I have marked the positive indexing of the list in green color. It starts from index 0. Index 0 holds the value 10, index 1 holds the value 20, index 2 holds the string C, index 3 holds the string M, index 4 holds the nested list containing the element 6, 7, 8, index 5 holds the value 30 and index 6 holds the value 40. The element at index 4 is 6, 7, 8, which is a nested list. So the output displayed is a nested list 6, 7, 8. Example 2. Print of L1 of index 4 of index 1. Accesses the element at index 1 within the nested list at index 4. Look at the above picture. I have marked the nested list indexing with pink color. It starts from index 0. So index 0 holds the value 6, index 1 holds the value 7 and index 2 holds the value 8. The nested list 6, 7, 8 is at index 4 and the element at index 1 within that nested list is 7. Therefore, the output would be 7. Let's learn about copying a list. Given a list, the simplest way to make a copy of the list is to assign it to another list. Let's see some examples. Example 1. List 1 holds the elements 10, 20, 30. In the next line, the variable L2 is assigned to L1. However, it's important to note that this assignment does not create a new copy of the list. Instead, both L1 and L2 refer to the same underlying list object. Therefore, modifying the list through one variable will affect both variables. So print of L1 will display the list 10, 20, 30. And print of list L2 will display the list 10, 20, 30 respectively. At this point, both L1 and L2 contain the same elements, 10, 20, and 30. You can check the output on the console. Example 2. Here, we are appending or adding the value 40 to list L1. After appending the value 40 to L1, both L1 and L2 reflect the change since they refer to the same list object. At this point, both L1 and L2 contain the same elements, 10, 20, and 30, 40. You can check the output on the console. Let's have a quick revision of the lists methods. The first method is the len function. The len function returns the length of the list, that is, the number of elements in a list. It returns the integer value, which indicates the length of an object. Revise the examples given here. Python list max function returns the maximum value present in the list. To use max function, all values in the list must be of the same type. The syntax is max of listname. Here, listname is the name of list in which we have to find the maximum value. It returns the maximum value present in the list. Revise the examples given here. Python min function returns the element with the minimum value from the list. To use the min function, all values in the list must be of the same type. The syntax is min of listname. Listname is the name of list in which we have to find the minimum value. It returns the minimum value present in the list. Revise all the examples given here. In Python, the list function is used to convert an iterable object, such as a sequence, example, string, tuple, range, into a new list. It takes the iterable as an argument and returns a new list containing the elements of the iterable. Revise the examples given here. In Python, the sum function is used to calculate the sum of all the elements in an iterable, such as a list. It takes the iterable as an argument and returns the sum of its elements. Revise the given example. The append function is a built-in method in Python lists that allows you to add an element to the end of an existing list. It doesn't create a new list, rather it modifies the original list. The single element can also be a list. The syntax is list.append of item. Here, the item can be numbers, strings, another list, dictionary, etc. An item to be added at the end of the list, the parameter is mandatory and omitting it can give an error. The method doesn't return any value. You can revise the given example. The index function in Python returns the index of first matched item from the list. It returns the first occurrence of an item for which the index position is to be searched in the list. If the element is not present, value error is generated. The syntax is list.index of item. You can revise the given example. Python list insert method inserts a given element or object at a given index in a list using Python. This function takes two arguments: the index where an item or object is to be inserted and the item or element itself. The syntax is list_name.insert of index_number, value. Here, list_name is the name of the list. Index_number is the index where the new value is to be inserted. Value is the new value to be inserted in the list. Revise the examples given here. The sort function can be used to sort the list in both ascending and descending order. It can be used to sort lists of integers, floating point numbers, strings, and others. This modifications is done in place, that is, it does not create a new list. The syntax is list.sort function. The sort does not return anything but alters the original list according to the passed parameter. Revise the examples given here. The remove function is used when we know the element to be deleted, not the index of the element. The syntax is list.remove of element. Here, element is the element to be removed from the list. This method does not return any value but removes the given object from the list. Exception: if the element doesn't exist, it throws value error. Remove method removes the first occurrence of the object from the list. Revise the given examples here. The reverse function in Python reverses the order of the elements in a list. This function reverses the item of the list. It replaces a new value in place of an item that already exists in the list, that is, it does not create a new list. The syntax is list.reverse function. There are no parameters. The reverse method does not return any value, but reverses the given object from the list. Revise the examples given here. Python list count method returns the count of how many times a given object occurs in a list using Python. The syntax is list.countOfElement. Parameters. Element is the item whose count is to be returned. It returns the count of how many times object occurs in the list. Revise the examples given here. The extend method adds one list at the end of another list. All items of a list are added at the end of an already created list. The syntax is list1.extend of list2. Here list1 is the primary list which will be executed. List2 is the list which will be added to list1. Revise the examples given here. Thanks for watching. Watch the upcoming videos. Review of Python Basics Part 4. Tuples and Dictionary. You can check the link in the description box below.